the tremendous wave that moved inland and washed not only fields but the actual structures that were in its path away, certainly it does raise the specter that this could have a higher casualty toll than we know right now. We have seen not only in the Northeast, but even here in Tokyo, the breakout of some fires. As I was noting, the gas lines that potentially are exposed could be a reason for that. But without question, the line of potential tsunami extends from the north of Japan and Hokkaido all the way to the south in Okinawa. We've seen a number of Pacific Rim nations also report their own susceptibility to potential tsunami as well, and is one where the rest of Asia and the Pacific are watching for their own potential tsunamis.
So Dan, let me ask you, we watched a huge fire broke out somewhere. According to the pictures, according to the NHK, it's a refinery oil port. Is it true?
We have seen fires. There is one report from Cosmo Oil that said its refinery fire from storage tank it's still working to extinguish. To give you an idea, Chiba is directly east of Tokyo. If you come to Japan via Narita Airport, that is the prefecture that houses. It's a very large prefecture, but certainly where some of these oil refinery facilities are. It is something that we've seen all sorts of infrastructure affected already, be it not just the energy side, but the actual communication systems. The phones, 4 million phones failed in the wake of the earthquake. We've had shutdowns of power as well as public transportation. These will be brought back online very, very soon, but obviously with the caveat that the authorities want to ensure that they're safe and that there's been no structural damage.
Okay, so you watched that, see the Prime Minister Naoto Kan gave a speech minutes ago about that he's promised he will do everything he can to help the people affected. And we know that some military planes already, you see, scrambled to survey damage. Do you have any information about that?
Yes, 8 self-defense force teams have been sent out to northeastern Japan in hopes of assisting in the recovery and rebuilding eventually. But at least for right now, seeing, this is still winter here in Japan, and particularly in the Northeast, like China, it is still quite cold right now. So if there are people who are exposed to the elements this evening, that could potentially raise the numbers of casualties. So the sooner self-defense or rescue officials are on the ground and can begin to hunt for survivors, likely the better chances that we will keep the numbers from being too extreme here in Japan.
We heard that some report just now that the water, because a more tsunami could come, any minute, and the water swept huge areas of farmland. So more tsunami could be close to Tokyo. Is that true?
Well, without question, we've seen, and again in the amazing kind of technological safety measures that Japan has. Prior to some of the tsunami striking, the port area was actually alerted that the waves were coming. That obviously raises the chances that people are in the low-lying areas can evacuate and go to higher elevation. That obviously is not 100% effective, but it's certainly better than a number of countries in their ability to kind of foster the ability to escape. Nonetheless, these tsunami points are going to continue to strike at various places along the Japanese archipelago for even the next hour or so. We have had confirmed tsunami waves over 7 meters. Some of those, obviously, you're watching and seeing the devastation that has ensued.
Yeah, Dan, I have asked you many questions. Please allow me to ask several more. That I know, you see, the many sections of Tohoku Expressway serving northern Japan damaged, and bullet trains to the north of country stopped. So, and some airports closed. Tell me something about that.
Well, indeed, Narita Airport has actually tried to get or evacuate all the travelers that were commuting or had flights in and out of the country. A lot of that will be to make sure that the airport and runway conditions are in good stead. Looking farther up the peninsula, we just had a report, Tokyo Electric Power, which runs a number of nuclear facilities throughout the country, is saying that its number one nuclear plant at Fukushima, which is the prefecture directly below Miyagi near the epicenter, has had some equipment problems after the quake, although there have been no problems with safety. Going back just a few years, there was an earthquake that struck on the Pacific coast side in Niigata, Kashiwazaki to be exact. That earthquake had a profound impact on some of the nuclear facilities, and there were fires that developed subsequent to that. No dangerous nuclear releases or anything in that regard, but it is something that certainly will keep an eye on to make sure that these facilities are going to be able, they're certainly built to withstand these tremendous geologic and seismic actions, but it is something that if you're looking at some of the fires that are still going on, all of Japan and other countries are watching closely.
So there was a 7.3 magnitude earthquake several days ago.
No, the earthquake that I was referring to was actually in 2006, if memory serves, in Niigata. The one that is really on everyone's mind, and perhaps this earthquake is reminding people most of, struck Japan in Kobe as an epicenter. It's called the Great Hanshin earthquake in 1995 January. That earthquake is to date one of the most destructive financially earthquake. Over 6,000 people obviously died. Sadly, Japan is no stranger to these horrible calamities, but it has tried to take every measure it can to ensure that the kind of effective response and evasion, if time warrants, is possible.
So, from where you are reporting now, you have the power, of course, right? Running.
We do. We're in Tokyo. We did not lose power in the city per se, but actually phone service went down. And I can't speak for Tohoku right now. We're looking at all the Japanese networks are showing pictures of various places in Japan. One I can't really say specifically, but I'm pretty sure it is off the coast of Miyagi right now, and ships, a variety of vessels are on their side as the tsunami waters roll in, and you can imagine that not only in that port area, but going inland hundreds of meters, there's going to be just tremendous damage and a lot of reconstruction to be done.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll go back to you later for more information from you, Dan.
Okay, thank you very much.
And you can see that from the pictures on the screen that cars are still running, and we can see people in the streets. And but more aftershock warnings and tsunami are possible. So people are still in a lot of a mess and scare. And the Kyoto News Agency said there were reports